When he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. He needed a rock. He needed
At the point when he requested that I get hitched, he was at Riker. He wanted a stone he really wanted due to our fellowship. And in view of all that we had experienced together, he simply needed to feel that cemented establishment, assuming there is such an amazing concept as previous existences. I certainly think Pac and I have voyaged a couple together, so it seems as though Fatigue Smith is getting a ton of intensity from fans, as well as from her own family, too, in light of the fact that her little girl Willow is currently getting down on her and uncovering her for being fixated on Tupac. As per Willow, Jaya has a wild propensity for involving Tupac against Will in a contention. Willow has likewise uncovered that Jada purposely utilizes Tupac to make Will envious and to castrate him. Willow has a ton to uncover Jada for. And it seems to be their mom-girl relationship is going a hopeless train wreck right now. Did Jay truly power Willow to compose a letter for Tupac? I truly didn't have any desire to get hitched yet. We just got hitched on the grounds that Unpleasant was crying you all. So it seems to be a Jada versus Tupac versus Wheel circumstance is causing a ton of show via virtual entertainment, as well as in their family, too, in light of the fact that as per new reports their family is being destroyed by the dramatization far and away more terrible. It seems as though Jada is isolated in this on the grounds that both of her children, Willow and Jaden, are 100% on Will's side. And they imagine that Jada is an antagonist not entirely settled to demolish their family, no matter what, over a man who has been away for quite a long time. And as per insiders, Willow particularly is on the outs from her mom, and things are somewhat tense between them. Right now, Willow has forever been really near her mother, and they even used to have a red casual conversation together. So on the off chance that Willow is just the outs with her mom over this dramatization, you realize it must be a significant thing for Willow to carry on this way. So it just so happens Jada has never stowed away her affection for Tupac away from her children, since she used to continue forever about Tupac and how he was the best thing in her life. As per an insider, Willow used to feel somewhat skeptical about whether Jada even adored Will, on the grounds that Jada used to discuss Tupac like he was her solitary, genuine romance, and that won't might ever try and contrast with Tupac in the manner he caused Jada to feel. This makes sense of why Willow composed a letter to Tupac when she was only 11 years of age, beseeching him to return and fulfill. Jada, she composed to your Tupac, I realize you are alive in some spot. I imagine that my mama truly misses you. Could you at any point, if it's not too much trouble, return? Might you at any point return so mom and me can be blissful? I wish you were here. I truly love Willa. Now this letter spilled about a year or so prior, and individuals found it peculiar how Willow realized that Tupac would make Jada more joyful than Willow. Did Tupac kicked the bucket around 4 years before Willow was even conceived, so the main way she realized that he could make Jada more joyful was assuming Jada said so herself. Now, when this letter initially spilled, we tracked down the circumstance, very strange yet, with the new improvements all around. We should say that it has gone from being odd to tremendously discourteous and untidy. And the miserable part about this is that Will has been the casualty in all of this. Jana has consistently acted a sort of way towards Will, and we as a whole sort of disregarded it yet. With her new admissions about her relationship with Tupac, fans have been drawing an obvious conclusion, and we're at last beginning to sort out for what reason Will may be the person in question, and why her own kids couldn't force themselves to help her openly or even secretly to place things into viewpoint. Jada and Tupac were really close when he was as yet alive. The two of them went to Baltimore School for Human Expressions, where they were in similar class. They turned out to be quick companions and were soon indistinguishable. They kept on being exceptionally close in any event. When the two of them went into Hollywood and began becoming showbiz royalty in their vocations, their fellowship was many times the subject of hypothesis, since individuals would frequently contemplate whether there was some sneaking around continuing if you catch my drift fans, contemplated whether they were covertly dozing together, or any such thing, yet the two of them denied this, guaranteeing that they were companions, and that there was no hanky-panky continuing. Anyway, fans didn't actually purchase this. And with what we presently realize very much, we should say turns out to be more improbable that they didn't attempt to be slippery with each other anyhow, who Jada before long began dating Will Smith, and things got truly hot between them. They hit it off, and Will was into Jada, yet he had just a single issue, and this was his uncertainty over Jada's fellowship with Tupac. Jada and Tupac were so near her own sweetheart, who was in a real sense one of the greatest, most blazing dark entertainers at the time, was desirous of their companionship. As a matter of fact, even after Tupac died, Jada kept his memory so near her heart that Will in any case felt desirous over their fellowship, despite the fact that Tupac was in a real sense dead. And Will didn't attempt to conceal this reality, since he talked about it straightforwardly in interviews. Were you ever envious of the adoration Jay had for Tupac? Oh goodness, better believe it. Yet she simply cherished him like he was the picture of flawlessness. Yet she was with the new sovereign, so it resembled I never could like even. We were in a room multiple times. I was unable to address him at first. Individuals believed that Will was being frivolous and declining to continue on from a companionship that finished a very long time before anyway. As per Willow, the genuine explanation that Will felt the sort of way about Tupac was that Jada never let him forget about it. Willow uncovered that Jada kept discussing him locked down, and the amount he intended to her. She seldom discussed Will in that light, and despite the fact that they kept up a unified front before the cameras, Willow guarantees that Will frequently felt weakened by Jada, and her fixation on Tupac. Truth be told, fans have seen in the recent years that Jada seldom discusses Will in a good light, and she sort of causes it to seem as she would rather not be hitched to him any longer. Some time ago, she was in a real sense conceding that she would have rather not hitched Will. And the main explanation, she even preceded the marriage in any case, was that she was pregnant with Jaden and her mother put squeeze on her to precede the wedding. I truly didn't have any desire to get hitched yet. We just got hitched in light of the fact that Tuff was crying. I was under such a lot of strain, being a youthful entertainer, being youthful. And I was pregnant. I was very much as I didn't have the foggiest idea what to do yet. I just realized I was like I never needed to be hitched then. There's a period that will go through 3 years arranging her 40th birthday celebration party, since he was attempting to get her encouraged and out of her burdensome rut, yet didn't view it as such. And she called Will out for attempting to parade his inner self. The day after her 37th birthday celebration, I employed a group to coordinate her 40th birthday celebration. I had recruited a narrative group. I followed Mom's family roots. It would have been what lifted her out of this emotional meltdown. And it would have been my most profound, most gorgeous decree of adoration. And she's let me know that the party was the most crazy presentation of my self-image. There's additionally when she emerged and essentially said that Will doesn't fulfill her in the room. Let me know everything that you want, say to me what you need. And on top of it, I realize that I must be responsible to do likewise. And I sincerely attempt to be reasonable for her. She conceded that she expected to convey her requirements, better saying simply, because I got time today. Quit standing out as truly newsworthy. Watch the red casual conversation I did with Gwenth. Pocket R for yourselves. Won't and I have ever had an issue in the room. Thank you, gracious. And could we at any point, likewise, discuss the way that she makes recordings of him, where she affronts him where he plainly is awkward, and afterward posts it online? You say she has been instrumental, and you and I reclassifying our relationship. I would agree. Don't begin shooting me without inquiring as to whether you might fill. And at some point gays come assist us with again satisfying. I'm actually managing stupidity. Don't know she no doubt, 'cause she don't it has been what was going on among them. And ch. It deteriorates on the grounds that Willow has essentially emerged to affirm that Jada utilizes Tupac to cause Will to feel desirous and under a man, as per an insider. Jada would frequently raise Tupac in contentions, with Will discussing how Tupac couldn't ever have done this to her, or how he just caused her to feel far better, and adored such that won't ever figured out how to do. Will likewise guarantees that Jada knew how delicate Will was about Tupac, and she would continuously raise Tupac and toss it right in front of Will just to get an assent from him, since she realizes that Tupac is a hotly debated issue that is certain to get a response from Will. And it doesn't seem as though Willow was making things up to make her mother look B, since she has been doing some press hurries to advance her forthcoming diary. And she has been saying a ton regarding her and Tupac, and it has been